Welcome to the California Student Tobacco Survey, Teacher and Proctor Training video. Thank you for taking the time to learn about how to successfully administer the California Student Tobacco Survey, or CSTS, with students at your school. Your role is critical to your school's successful participation. Our goal is to make this process as simple as possible. This video will provide a brief overview of the survey and detailed instructions on how to administer it with your students. The University of California, San Diego is contracted by the California Department of Public Health to conduct the CSTS. This statewide survey has been conducted biennially since 2001. The results are used to monitor the statewide prevalence rates for adolescent use of various tobacco products, including vapes and marijuana. Results also help assess school-based tobacco prevention and education. It's important to examine teen use, exposure, and perceptions of these products in order to equip schools to combat these issues and protect students' health. The CSTS is an online survey administered in classrooms statewide. In 2019-20, the survey will be conducted in over 300 schools with over 150,000 students. The survey takes, on average, 20 minutes to complete. Generally, only students in grades 8, 10, and 12 participate. In special cases, other grade levels may participate. The survey is taken during class time within a required course. A given class section will take the survey in a single period. Once successfully administered, your school will receive a profile report including student tobacco use and other related measures, such as exposure, access, and susceptibility to future use. To ensure that the rights and welfare of human subjects are protected while participating in this research, UCSD complies with 2 institutional review boards, one at UCSD and one at the state level. We require parent consent forms to be sent home with all potential participants. Additionally, all student participants will read an assent prior to taking the survey and have an opportunity to opt out of the survey. Both the consent and assent forms will describe procedures for maintaining confidentiality. All survey submissions are anonymous and cannot be traced to an individual student. UCSD will retain all data collected from the survey in locked cabinets or in a password-protected database using a secure FTP website. At this point, your principal has identified a CSTS survey coordinator to organize administration at your school. The survey coordinator will work with a CSTS specialist from UCSD to ensure you have everything you need to successfully administer the survey in your classroom. Your survey coordinator will provide the materials needed to administer the survey. You will receive parent consent forms for your students for each participating section. If you have multiple class sections, you will need enough consent forms for each section. A large envelope for each of your class sections will be provided to you. Please retain the large envelope to collect any signed consent forms you receive from your students. Each envelope must be returned to your school's survey coordinator. You will also need to submit one participation log for each class section surveyed. Your survey coordinator will also provide you with the date you are supposed to administer the survey. If you are missing anything or have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact your survey coordinator or the CSTS project team. Our contact information will be provided at the end of this video. There are 5 main steps to successfully administer the survey. Distribute and collect parent consent forms. Receive the student survey link. Proctor the survey. Submit an online participation log, and return all survey materials back to your school's survey coordinator. We will cover each step in detail. Once you have received and reviewed the administration materials, the first step is to distribute the parent consent forms to your students. Consent forms provide information about the survey and researchers behind the project. These forms should be sent home with students at least 1 week before your survey administration date. There are 2 types of consent forms, which have different protocol for determining student eligibility. The first is passive consent. The majority of schools use passive or opt-out consent. In this case, all students are eligible to participate except those returning signed parent consent forms. The second is active consent. Few schools use active or opt-in consent. In this case, only students who return signed forms in which parents agree to allow their children to take the survey are eligible to participate. The type of consent used by your school will be indicated on the top right corner of the consent document. Any signed, returned consent forms should be collected from students before they take the survey. If you are administering the survey to multiple sections, file those forms in their respective section envelopes. Keep all forms safe in a locked cabinet or drawer until you have completed surveying all sections and return your class section envelopes to the survey coordinator. Please review any signed returned consent forms to ensure that all information has been filled out correctly before filing them into their respective envelope. The survey coordinator will receive the student survey link from the CSTS specialist 1 week before your school begins administering the survey. Your survey coordinator will provide the survey link to you then. The survey link is unique to your school. It is crucial that you provide the correct link. It's also very important that only students access this link. Because the survey is anonymous, we cannot distinguish between teacher previews and actual student data. If you would like to familiarize yourself with our survey in advance, please use the separate preview link. On your assigned survey date, please ensure that you have collected and checked any signed returned consent forms. For students who have been opted out by their parents, or for those who finish early, please prepare a pre-assigned quiet activity for them to work on while others take the survey. Please remind students that this survey is being done to ensure effective substance use education and prevention programs are provided to youth. That participation in the survey is completely anonymous and no one will ever know what they answered. That they should answer the questions honestly and there are no right or wrong answers. If students are unsure about a question, they should give their best guess. When your students are ready to access the survey, provide them with your school's unique survey link. To prevent students from accessing the wrong link, we recommend that you spell it out on your whiteboard. Students should not Google the link, as this invalidates the data. They should enter the link exactly how it was provided. Once students have successfully accessed the survey link, they should see the first page, which includes the student assent. Students may either agree or decline to participate. Should students wish to decline, it is best that they do so within the survey itself. Have them click No on the first question. Students who wish to participate will be asked to verify their school, select their class period, and choose the teacher whose class section they are surveying in. All students from a given section should enter the same information. To ensure that they do, we recommend that you provide them with the period number and teacher name by spelling it out on the whiteboard. Once students have entered this information, they may proceed through the survey. Please instruct students to use the forward and back buttons within the survey itself. While students are taking the survey, or immediately after they finish taking the survey, complete an online participation log. We require one participation log for each participating class section. If you are proctoring multiple class sections, you will need to submit multiple logs. This information is very important, as we need this to calculate your school's response rate. The link to the online participation log will be provided to you when you receive your school's unique survey link. We will now walk through how to complete the participation log. When you access the link to the participation log, you'll be directed to this first page. It includes basic instructions on how to complete the log and what to expect. Once you have read this information, press the blue forward arrow on the bottom right-hand side. You will then be asked to enter your first and last name. Then, you must provide the name of your school district, school, and the course you administered the survey in for that particular section. Then, select the period you administered the survey in. Next, provide us with the date you administered the survey on. The survey should only be administered on one day. Students who are absent do not need to make up the survey. You may either click the date on the calendar or type the date below it. Then, select the grade level for your class section. If your class section consists of students in multiple grades, please select all grade levels that apply. For schools using passive consent, provide the number of students enrolled, the number of students who return opt-out consents, the number of students absent, and the number of students who refuse to complete the survey. The number of students who refuse to complete the survey should include those who refused before doing so in the survey itself. If your school requires active consent, you'll be provided with a different link. In this version, you must provide the number of students who returned signed consent forms in which parents agreed to opt in their children, and the number of students who returned consent forms in which the parents did not agree and signed to opt out their children. This is in addition to the number of students enrolled, the number of students absent, and the number of students who refused to participate for each section. If you or any of your students encountered difficulties with the survey, please use the open text field to provide a brief description of what happened. Once complete, click Next. Then, read the Pledge of Confidentiality and tap the box to confirm that you will maintain student confidentiality. Once you have tapped the box, click the blue forward arrow on the bottom right-hand side to submit the form. Once you have submitted the form, guidance is provided on how to retain any returned consent forms. You may also use the link provided to submit a new participation log. Once you have surveyed all of your participating sections, ensure all returned consent forms are gathered and placed in the return envelope. Keep parent consent forms from different class sections in separate envelopes. Return them to your school's survey coordinator, who will mail them back to UCSD. Thank you for watching the California Student Tobacco Survey Teacher Training video. If you have any questions, our team is available to help you through email at csts@ucsd.edu or via phone at 858-300-1088. Once again, thank you for your help in administering the CSTS at your school. We sincerely appreciate all of your time and efforts.